Please don't put that as the intro to this, Connor, if you're listening. My stepmom subscribes to this podcast.
I'll give you $10 if you do it.
This is Twin Stick Radio, episode 36. This is actually 36 for the week of September 17th, 2018. I am one of your hosts, Trey Higgins, and I am joined by Chris Rodriguez.
I thought the whole conversation we just had was 36 was right, and it's actually 37 this week.
Nope.
No.
36 was wrong last week. It was 35.
Literally none of that. What you just said was not said at all. Just
You understood it at the time. I think you just forget.
Probably.
And then when you remember, you try to alter the details.
it's
to
the
make
old
it better.
age.
I think it's getting worse. Literally, the other day I was drinking. I always drink unsweet tea, right?
Hey, I'm Justin, and I'm here too.
I always drink.
Yeah, and Justin T. Lopez.
I always drink unsweet tea. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what. It's either water or unsweet tea anymore. For some reason, I picked up my drink the other day expecting Dr. Pepper when I've been drinking unsweet tea for over a month now, and I drank and literally spit it out because I forgot I had tea and was expecting soda.
Yeah, but that's like 34 years and 11 months of drinking soda.
Sure, I
compared
guess.
to 1 month.
I guess, but you would think by now I'm just used to the whole no sodas. I was expecting soda, and I've been drinking the tea for over an hour. These fucking cups are huge.
Humans are stupid.
Yeah, I am.
That sort of happened to me. You're going to feel a little bit vindicated when I
Okay.
say the statement.
Okay.
I'm scared to say this and then do the thing that made me sick. But I ate at Chipotle next to campus the other day, and I got food poisoning. Which I knew when I walked in that it was probably going to happen. When you walk into a restaurant and you're like, I probably shouldn't eat here, but you're hungry enough that you're willing to risk it.
Sure.
That's what happened. So I walked into this dirty Chipotle next to Texas State, ordered a burrito.
Which
and then,
one? The one by Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's
And
dirty?
It's gotten real bad.
I was going to
wow.
say, in your defense, you are limited with your options.
Yeah,
in that corner, there's that Chipotle, Taco Bell, and then Jack in the Box.
Italian Garden.
I haven't never been there before. But
Best Italian food, South
So
Texas.
I'm afraid to try it because I'm afraid it's going to be more expensive. But anyways, so I got food poisoning.
Okay.
Was sick all day Tuesday, slept for 20 hours because when I was awake, I just wanted to throw up.
Okay. Gross.
And since then, I've been drinking only water, Gatorade,
Yeah.
and then today I started drinking energy drinks because I pulled an all-nighter by accident. But anyway, I still even if I pick up this, I will probably at some point take a sip from this, expecting that it's Dr. Pepper, and
Yep.
it won't be, and I'll be kind of
Sure.
grossed out at first.
So Italian Garden, literally best Italian food
He
in
was
South Texas.
ready to move on. He was very polite and let me finish.
And it's inexpensive. Whitney and I can both go there, have salads, entrees, bread thingies, whatever it's called, drinks, less than $30. Always.
Really? Okay, then I might give it a shot.
Oh, it's so good. We love that place.
I think Ev is really hungry.
Sorry, Ev.
Based
that was
on
a
his
little
response.
hungry face.
We'll go get you some Taco Bell later.
Also, going back to the all-nighter thing, though, there's a difference between an 18-year-old all-nighter and a 25-year-old all-nighter.
wait
One
till
of
you're-
them's
wait,
just sad.
Wait till you're 35.
The 18-year-old one is because I didn't do my shit
Sure.
and I need to get it done at the last minute. 25-year-old one is just anxiety.
Sure.
You
oh,
are
I thought
up
you
at,
meant the way you feel.
No.
18-year-old all-nighter, dude, I'm good.
No,
Fucking let's
the
go another
reason
24
for the all-nighter
hours.
is
Got it.
changed. I'm responsible. I'm getting my shit done.
Got it.
But I have so much anxiety about the things that are coming up that I can't sleep.
18-year-old all-nighter, let's do it. Let's do another 24 hours. I'm good to go. 25-year-old all-nighter, it's man, this is going to suck, but I'm ready for it. But 35-year-old all-nighter, fuck whatever I have to do tomorrow. I'm fucking sleeping because I need it.
But it also kind of shows you the power of Red Bull, because when I was sitting on the couch earlier and I sounded drunk, that was no Red Bull.
Oh, well, there
and
you
now
go.
Red Bull, and I'm like a person again.
There you go. Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah. Do you have
Or
anything you want to add?
Unslurs your
before
speech.
Before we move on, Justin?
Nope. All-nighters. Great.
Awesome.
They're not great.
You're a bastion of
terrible.
knowledge as always.
No.
You basically pull all-nighters.
No, I
Who?
don't. Oh,
You
that
kind of
means sure.
do. You sleep in 1 hour shifts.
I sleep for I think the longest I sleep anymore is 4-hour stretches.
You
yeah,
know,
but I
this-
feel like it's 4 hours split up.
Maybe.
I feel like you wake up and you do something on your phone for a bit, and then because I hear your phone, and then I don't hear your
Sure,
phone, and then
yeah.
I hear your phone.
Yeah, I'll wake because I'll go to bed. I'd say 11 midnight usually is a good time unless I'm super tired. 11 midnight. I'll wake up at 4 a.m. mess around on my phone, fall asleep again like at 6, and then wake up again like at 7:30 or 8, and then start the day.
I think I've figured out why your old man dementia is getting worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't sleep enough.
It's making sense
Probably,
now.
yeah.
Well, he tells you like 4 hours. He always says all the time, 4 hours is the perfect amount of sleep.
Yep.
And then everyone always fights him. And then he's like, I get 4 hours of sleep every night. And then no one believes him until he breaks it down.
And then I'm fine.
Unless you go to drink your tea
Right,
and it's Dr.
exactly.
Pepper. And
So if you guys haven't listened to us before, we are a podcast about video games. We post on Fridays or sometime during the weekend, unless Trey doesn't have enough money to pay the bill. We start the
Womp, womp.
show.
Oh, I need the trumpet.
Yeah.
Womp, 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 womp.
We start the show with the same segment every week, but we're going to start with a new segment this week, housekeeping.
Oh, shit.
So just so you guys are aware, you're going to...
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands all of a sudden.
It's like your hands are covering
Yeah,
the
it's
mic.
like,
So just so you guys are aware, we're going to be changing our recording date starting Tuesday. So you are hopefully going to get a quick double dose of Twin Stick Radio over the course of the next couple days. So we're going to be recording on Tuesday. We have an experimental thing that we're not going to talk about now because we have no definitive dates, but you will see that happening sometime next week or the week after. We'll see. But hopefully you'll be seeing episodes from us. I don't have a date yet. We just need to figure it out. So we're recording on Tuesdays, and that's going to change our release a little bit. I would like to get it up by Wednesday or Thursday, but we're going to figure it out with other stuff that we have going on. So just be prepared that next week our news is going to be a little bit more truncated because there's not really going to be
because there's a few days between
there's
now
a
and
li-
then.
yeah.
we basically
However-
have Monday and Tuesday. for
however,
news.
some crazy shit could happen.
You're right.
Nobody knows.
Remember like back in the day when like Beyond was on Tuesdays and they always made it work, and I'm just nervous
Yep.
because Thursday was a good day.
Thursday's a great day. Thursday's the end of the week. Most of the news that are going to be announced happens before Thursday. But it's like it's the unlocked curse. Like I think Ryan McCafferty records on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and he'll always post like Thursday or Friday, and one of those 2 days something big happens. You always miss something.
like
And you talk about it next week,
You
and
know,
then it's old news.
Exactly.
I hate to sit down on the podcast and not like have concrete details about what our future looks like. But hopefully by next episode we can say some things, or the episode after that.
Sure.
Maybe they will see what's different.
Look for maybe
If
maybe
you would
they might
like
see it.
concrete details, give us money so we can all just quit our jobs.
Exactly, and then just do this all the time.
Right, exactly.
And then nothing matters.
That's a good idea. We should have led with that.
And we've been leading for that for 3 fucking years and it hasn't worked out.
The best way they can support is subscribe and like.
Yeah, tell your friends to subscribe so we can finally get a fucking URL.
It's true.
That's
we're
the
al-
most
dude, we're
that's-
like 40 subscribers away from a URL.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is the
That's-
most annoying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's part of my anxiety. That's what makes me pull all-nighters on a fucking Wednesday night is the fact that we don't have a URL on YouTube
Yep.
and it's insulting.
That's
Yep.
it. I'm starting a petition.
Yes.
It
do
worked.
it.
I mean, you got us 100 likes on Facebook. Why can't you get us 100
Yeah,
subscribers?
do a
Yeah, why can't I?
Yeah, you know, you're a social media expert.
there are a few things we won't do for subscribes.
I'll do anything.
I mean,
Ev will do anything.
there's a couple like there is things that some people won't do,
Sure.
but other people might. So don't count anything out.
Right.
A group of
don't-
4 people, we spread the
Yeah,
spectrum.
don't bring politics into it. Nudity's okay. And
Always
we
bring a
ha-
towel.
And we have someone here that, if depending, might be down for butt sex. So
Justin. So we do start the show with the same segment every week. Justin and I are going to save what we're playing for the topic of the week. But Chris, what have you been playing? I bet no one can guess what that is.
nope, there's no way.
No.
Minecraft.
Damn it.
God, I would.
That's really good, Justin.
Thank
Holy
We
shit.
should do a video one day of just Chris playing Minecraft. Just a let's play of Chris playing Minecraft, where none of us are mic'd, but we're sitting in the background, but Chris is mic'd. We just drop him in. And we like it's an already going game, so
I've
it's not even
never-
like he can go through a tutorial.
I've never rage quit a game, but I might rage quit Minecraft because like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, where we're just sitting in the, you can just hear us in the background laughing, but it's just him doing it like a YouTuber let's play of Minecraft.
He's just like, well, I have dirt now.
no, but like, tell me that's not a brilliant idea.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I have thought about an idea to put Chris in games because he has stances against games that he just doesn't like. I really want to just make him
like what?
I feel like
like
he's,
Overwatch and
There's
Minecraft
reasons I
and-
don't like Overwatch or Minecraft.
Oh no, I'm not saying your
Oh,
reasons are
okay.
unfounded. I'm just saying I really want to see him play games he doesn't enjoy.
Also, I feel like if Chris, so like Chris, Minecraft is obviously not a Chris game, but I feel like the biggest barrier for Chris not liking a game is the fact that he has to pay for it. If we bought him Overwatch, he would probably play Overwatch with us.
The time that
That's
I
a
did,
bold statement.
The times that I
No, you
have
would.
played Overwatch, like I was fairly good at it. I'm not like fucking MLG Ninja at it, but
He was pretty good.
yeah, like with Reaper, I was usually top scorer, and
Your edgelord
But
came
we-
out.
yeah, my Edgelord came out.
We had this reverse conversation about you where we were like, should we just pitch in $30 each and buy Justin Destiny because he would play with us?
Yeah, oh yeah, you would love Destiny.
Oh, y'all should
Guarantee
totally
you.
do that. Yeah.
Guarantee you would love Destiny.
Now
Sure,
he wants
go
it. I don't
for
want
it.
to do it. It was only fun when we were forcing our hobby on him, but
Yeah, no, we should have Chris play games he doesn't like normally play. Or like Fortnite.
yeah,
I don't know. It'd be fun.
yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do with Fortnite.
Exactly. But
Jesus
what did
Christ.
you play this week?
I played Destiny.
No way.
That's all.
What?
I don't even think I touched WoW this week.
Did you do the raid?
No, nowhere near ready for the raid. Wait, did I play? Did I tell you last week that I unlocked the Void Elves?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then I didn't play WoW this week.
The two people that listen to the episode after it comes out.
Destiny. So, without going into too much super detail, because we've got the whole raid thing at the bottom of the news. You know, it's. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this damn game. I'm still fucking playing it, and I still have a shit ton of fun. Trey and I played for like
Yeah.
45 minutes earlier.
Not to make this like another Destiny 2 Forsaken podcast, but now that I've completed the game, like the actual story, and I'm in the end game, like I kind of feel like I can put some final thoughts
Sure.
on it. I was telling Chris earlier, like I feel like he totally hit it on the head last week when he was like, there's really not a lot for solo players to do and feel fulfilled. Like technically there is more to do in the game than there has ever been before for anyone, including solo players. But a lot of the activities that are worth doing, you need a fire team. And he was telling me earlier, like all of your powerful drops only drop one level above you unless you're unlocking stuff in the Dreaming City,
The raid,
or if
or
you're
the
doing stuff in
Nightfall.
the raid
Yep.
or Nightfall.
Yep.
Those are all fire team activities,
Yep.
which means that the progress that you're making with all those other engrams is so much slower.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's fine. Like, I think Destiny Forsaken is the best incarnation of Destiny that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think it's better than all of Destiny 1.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like, it's hard because it's still imperfect. And when you're comparing it to other games that are coming out in the future or in other games that are out now, like WoW, it goes back to that same question that we always come back to when we're talking about Destiny. But, like, why hasn't Bungie just figured it out?
Yeah.
Or why are they afraid to try certain things that have been obvious for 4 years?
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why
5 years.
Sure.
I feel like the reason why the lack of solo gameplay is a big deal in Destiny is because if it was labeled as an MMO, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You know, like
What do you mean?
because Destiny doesn't want to admit that it's an MMO, or that it could be played as an MMO.
Okay.
That like if it was an MMO, I wouldn't have a problem with there being a lack of solo gameplay. Basically,
well,
it kind of I feel like it just comes with the territory.
But the opposite is if you go play WoW right now, you can do so many things solo in WoW. WoW is unbelievably solo friendly, unless it's raiding, which is understandable. So with all the great things that come with Destiny's Forsaken, you have so many negative things that are just not solo friendly whatsoever. So the biggest thing right now is I'm at a masterwork course because I didn't raid every week since Warmind came out, where one of our friends, Daniel, has 300 masterwork cores because that's what they did. That he just has a ton of them, and he can infuse whatever the hell he wants. Because now for your infusion system, which is raising the power level of certain items,
Basically,
right?
if you really like this gun,
Right.
you infuse a more powerful gun
Right.
into it to make it higher light level.
But you need these
For-
things called masterwork cores that are super rare drops. And like, I'm out. I'm literally out of masterwork cores now because I didn't raid every single week. I didn't know life Destiny. I didn't, play 12 hours a day like streamers can. So again, it's another thing where Bungie just very much steered hard fucking right left turn to streamers and no lifers and kind of left, which I honestly still think is a huge majority of us, in the dust. And it's not bad because there's tons of things for everybody to go do. So like all those negative things, there's still great things. So like Trey just kind of like he's jumping back into Destiny and is starting to see like they're rolling out story content weekly. And because the raid was beaten, more story content opened up. And it's working a lot like what WoW is doing in Battle for Azeroth and Legion and all this other stuff. It's like there's stuff that's continually rolling out and the game's evolving as players affect the world, which is super fucking cool. Like Destiny's nailing it with that right now. But like I said, even next week, if I start to get powerful gear, like I'm kind of fucked because I don't have any masterwork cores. So if I'm at 546 on my, 546 on my hunter, on my warlock right now. Even if I get powerful drops, I can't raise that certain armor setup that gives you more damage in the Dreaming City. So like I'm kind of fucked. I'm at a almost like at a stopping point where now I need to figure out how to get masterwork cores more effectively or something like that. When it shouldn't really be a thing.
And then you go and look at the Dreaming City from the perspective of someone who, just recently hit 510. Like that's a place that unless I'm traveling with Chris or Daniel and
You're
we have a full
fucked.
fire team, like there's no reason for me to explore it.
Yeah.
Not only because I can't survive anything, but because nothing there. There's only a couple things there worth doing that will get me drops to raise my light. So I'm better off waiting until I'm 550 or
Yep.
560 and going
Yep.
to explore it on my own because that will be a point where I can solo it.
Yep.
But at this point, that's looking to be like a 30 or 40 hour endeavor.
Yeah.
And it's by that time, it's like, am I still going to be interested?
So it's a thing. It's like, man, I'm still playing it and I love it. Like I was telling Trey, I think I had more fun playing with him at 45 minutes than I've had in a while just because we haven't got to play together in a long time. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Destiny. It's not bad. I don't have bad feelings toward Destiny. It's just more like it's getting to that point where it's like, what weighs more on my shoulders? The negative sides where like, man, I'm kind of fucked because I play solo and I didn't play for 2,000 hours in between Warmind and this, or the overall like progression and stuff and content that's coming out weekly is so fucking cool that I want to go do the raids, and I'm at a level now where I can go do the raid, but unfortunately LFGers are of course the freaking elite, right? 350 360 or above, you can't join us if you don't have Sleeper Simulator. You can't
Gotta show us your last wish raid thing,
sure,
even though only
make sure
three
you
teams
have
beat it.
right, make sure you have the last wish raid emblem, at least one beat under your belt. It's like, well, fuck, can't join any of these people. So now I'm back to, well, I have my clan, right, of TJ, David, Trey, Rich, Daniel, maybe you. We have a clan. However, Bungie has created Forsaken for people who, in our clan, they just can't play anymore. TJ can't play Destiny. And he's busy, but he can't play because he can't devote the time.
In order to get the same amount of progression in
Right.
1 week that you got in 1 week of year one,
Right.
you have to do like 3 times the amount of content.
Right.
So whereas before we could jump in on Tuesday, knock out all of our milestones in a day and progress 5 or 6 light levels,
Yep.
that's happening over the course of
Sure.
probably 10 hours of gameplay
Sure, yeah.
over the course of a week.
Right.
And that's a lot of time. Like I still haven't had a week where I've cleared out all of my milestones, but the progression is slower. It's
very
It's
slow.
slow. It's slower than it used to be.
Yeah, so Bungie is essentially, kind of shut the door on people like TJ and David.
Well, they've
And-
kind of just tricked everyone. They've made it seem like there's more to do, but the reality is
There's
that
not.
You're
Well, there is more. Yeah,
but the reward. It's someone said this the other day, and I've heard it before, but it's like really stuck in my head. The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
sure.
In a shorter amount of gameplay, we got more done and progressed further in light
Sure, yeah,
level
yeah.
than we're doing now with more shit to do.
Yeah, I think
We got more lemons. We're just not getting enough juice from it.
Sure,
That
I
makes
think.
sense. The
I
juice
think
isn't worth the squeeze. I like it.
I think once I was telling you earlier, I think once you hit a certain point, the juice becomes worth the squeeze. However,
It was really funny hearing you say that. It was
Yeah.
like trying to see like a white guy using the N word.
the poodle is definitely worth the fuck. However,
Okay, all right. that's
However,
my new.
This
That's
took a turn.
Yeah, poodle is worth the fuck.
it just doesn't seem like it at first, and that really sucks because like I said, I still log in and I'm having a ton of fun, but the overall elitist attitude in Destiny is very much a thing right now. And that kind of ruins the game for a lot of people.
Welcome to a world where random rolls and slow progression
Yeah,
exists
man.
again.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't want
I
to say
will,
on it too long.
to kind of cap this off, it does have me really concerned with the future of year 2 of Destiny 2, because the way that these, 4 DLCs are looking, they seem to be more centered around group activities.
Sure, yep.
Which was fine when I thought that like more of Forsaken was going to be solo content, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, and I will always come back to Destiny. Destiny will always be home for me. But if come February, like Anthem offers me more solo opportunities, as a solo gamer, someone who has more time to play by himself, I'm going to move.
Sure, yeah.
I'll come back to Destiny.
Sure.
But Anthem might take that primary position, and it will deserve it because that's what I'm looking for.
And that's the thing is I'm not going to stop playing Destiny. Not until
I'll
I
not- I won't
I
stop.
feel fulfilled, right? I want to
Oh
be the
gosh, they got you forever.
Inter-
there.
Yeah, I might.
that's
They
an
might have
interesting
just-
standpoint.
we figured out their business
But
model.
that's not true because like we stopped 2 weeks after Warmind. I just cold stopped.
Yeah, but that's because there was nothing to do. You didn't feel fulfilled.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, that is true. As long as they give me something to do, I'm going to be playing Destiny.
Right.
And they have consistently for the last 3 weeks been giving me things to do, which is nice.
If there's something you can go towards to become fulfilled, then you'll keep playing. But
Sure.
if it's no longer there, you're not going
Right.
to keep chasing it.
Right.
I will say one more thing. You were right about how like the not getting the slots that you need for for your powerful drops isn't a huge deal anymore because you get so many of them.
Yeah.
So you're like less fucked when you're not getting
Sure,
the boots.
but-
because you'll eventually get the boots. 'cause
Sure,
you're getting
but
so many
You're
slots.
still fucked. You're just less fucked.
Yeah, but I mean, it can still fuck you because there will be a time in a week where you may not get boots ever. It's very much
but
a thing. That
but
could
like
happen.
it's less likely to happen
Sure.
over the course of 7
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
I guarantee it'll happen to one of y'all.
Probably
Because that's how
I mean,
that
it did
works.
happen to me when I was trying to get to 500.
I
just
remember.
could not
Yeah, there you
get
go.
a blue that I needed.
Yep.
All right, guys, ready for the news?
Are we? The topic is what y'all are playing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. I
It,
understand.
it all ties in.
Oh my god, I get it.
So for this first news item, I figure we can treat this like quick saves. If you see something that you want to talk about, just stop me. If not, just put it in little side comments because this is a long one. So buckle up. Nintendo.
That's not what a
nope.
seatbelt sounds like.
Click.
That sounds like a gun. You were cocking a shotgun. Nintendo hosted another Nintendo Direct last week, and while we don't have time to break down every news item, here are some of the most important things that happened. Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming to the Switch in 2019, but no further details were announced.
He's alive. He didn't die after all.
Or he's going to be Ghost Luigi
Oh,
because
good
he
call.
got killed.
Oh, that'd be kind of badass. Like a ghost
If they
trying
made,
to
like,
catch
Smash,
ghosts.
like official in Mario continuity. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
in Smash news. Speaking of Smash,
Wait, is Luigi's Mansion in canon? Like, is that canon Mario? Is there such
Like,
thing as
is
canon
Luigi?
Mario?
Yes.
Is Luigi
There
a
is.
Ghostbuster?
I mean,
Luigi and Daisy are together. Peach and Mario are together.
I feel like they reference Luigi's Mansion enough in like side Mario games that it's
Okay.
canon. I feel like that's what makes something canon. Is if you see it happen in like Mario Tennis and Mario
Sure.
Golf and Mario Kart, that's when it becomes canon.
But
But
our
what about Galaxy? Like Super Mario Galaxy?
well, that
well,
was
like Rosalina has appeared in a shit ton of stuff, so now Mario Galaxy is canon.
That's
so-
true, but
so-
Mario
well-
isn't like flying to different planets. And,
well.
like,
That's my question.
I don't know. Did you play the story?
yeah, that's
Because they kind of like break up the universe. Like,
So that's
Bowser's
my
deal.
that's my question is how like what in Mario is canon? Like is like Bowser's Saga on DS a canon story that Mario and Luigi did? Like, you know what I mean?
I feel
What
like the
is
RPG
Where do we draw the
timelines
line?
are separate from the other.
Oh
timelines.
god, we're getting into fucking Zelda territory.
No,
now,
there's
aren't we?
the RPG EU and the Mushroom Kingdom EU.
I can get behind that.
Okay,
yeah.
whatever.
In other Smash news, speaking of Smash, Isabelle from Animal Crossing is joining the fight. She looks like she's gonna fight like the villager. So that's cool.
Sounds lame.
Also, Animal Crossing is coming to the Switch in 2019. No further details were announced.
Those are all the details I need.
Yeah, I mean it's great to announce shit, but like you're gonna see this. That's going to pop up often, and it's very annoying to be like, we're announcing something, but here's just a screen.
Until Animal Crossing 2019 is just like
They didn't even announce a title for it.
well, I
That's
was
the
gonna say
annoying thing.
it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. Like it's going to be a different Animal Crossing. It's not going to be
do
your
you mean?
Animal Crossing.
Like
that
now
you-
you're just a kid
Yeah,
stuck in the
it's-
woods. and
Yeah,
the animals
or
are trying
maybe
to
it's
eat
going to be
you.
like it's going to be like
Jesus,
Animal
being hunted
Crossing.
by a feral raccoon.
It's like going to be Animal Crossing Destiny or something. It's not going to be the Animal Crossing.
Oh,
you know
that would
and
be
love.
adorable. You're just.
You're
like-
I'd still play it.
The whole
It's
point
got
is
the
you're
Animal
just gonna
Crossing
be
title, I'll play it.
disappointed.
Nah, I won't be disappointed.
I don't feel like the only time I've ever been disappointed in Animal Crossing was City Folk on the Wii
I never played City Folk.
because it doesn't work if it's not portable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Japanese Switch owners will be able to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey on their Switch consoles. While this feature was previously available for Japanese Switch owners with Resident Evil 7, this feature has not been announced for the US. A Ubisoft spokesperson told GameSpot, quote, "At the moment, this is a limited release for the Japanese market." End
I
quote.
don't understand. Like, so they're going to do like
Like
the streaming service that we
It's
always
like
talk
PlayStation
about.
Now, but on your Nintendo Switch for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I don't know how that's going to work. I guess internet's better in Japan.
I mean, technically,
Is
it
this-
works in the US.
Is Assassin's Creed Odyssey like coming out on the Switch just in general? Or?
As our previous co-host would remind us, the Nintendo Switch is basically a I don't know, some Razer tablet or something that streamed games on
Sure.
it. So the hardware that's based off of previously already did that.
Okay.
And it worked fairly well on
Sure.
that hardware.
So basically, the Switch isn't going to be running the software. It's just going to be streaming the software.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it theoretically could work here. It's not going to work in like the middle of Nebraska
Sure.
on your corn farm, but it should work from our house.
And it would look. I mean, you're just streaming video, so it would look great. I would assume.
It would look
Right?
as
Should,
good as
right?
it could on the Switch.
Well, no, it would look. It would look just as good as it does on PS4 because you're not streaming the actual software,
But
right?
I don't think that the Switch outputs.
Oh,
on-
sure, yeah,
it's
sure,
not
sure,
going to be
sure.
1080p, but
Sure, but like the graphical fidelity of it on the Switch should be the same as it
be-
is on like a PS4 Pro.
yeah, it'll be like watching a video recorded in 4K
Right.
on your 1080p monitor.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
Weird question though, because I actually don't know this. Does the Switch or the dock have an Ethernet port on it?
No.
I feel like that's a big kind of hitch for.
Yo, sure,
streaming.
totally. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a good Wi-Fi connection, you're fucked.
Yeah, and so, which like our Wi-Fi pretty much just works for your PlayStation.
Pretty much.
Oh, really?
Well, like I think we've got a fairly good modem, but like, and our house isn't big. It's like 900 square feet, but the bubble of Wi-Fi cuts off like it trays room.
Yeah,
it's
like,
like doesn't make any sense.
Our
should get an
walls
extender.
are thick enough to block Wi-Fi,
Sure.
but not thick enough to cover me coughing at night.
right.
The power of your cough is stronger than Wi-Fi.
Yeah, apparently. 2 new Switch bundles were announced for Super Smash Bros. And Pokemon Let's Go. They will feature unique docks and Joy-Cons.
The Smash Brothers one's cool.
I thought the Smash Brothers one was cool.
I like the Joy-Cons that they make the Smash Brothers symbol.
Yeah, that was
when they're on
Also-
the side.
Yeah, when you pointed that out, I was like, okay, that kind of.
I like the dock too. I about died because it doesn't seem it's not obviously Smash. It just kind of looks like it's celebrating Nintendo characters.
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I hated about like the
Well,
Smash
that's also on the
3DS.
back of the console too, isn't it? Isn't it etched onto the back of the console?
I don't think so. The only thing they showed it on was the dock, but I
Oh,
think
okay.
the Pikachu one might be
That
on
one
the back
has
of the
the
console.
the Pikachu and Eevee thing.
Yeah.
On
All
the
right.
on the console.
On the back of the console, you see Pikachu and his cute little like at Eevee's all.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12 is coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2019, along with ports of Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, 10-2, and 10-12, the Zodiac Age.
Just
The
12.
Zodiac Age.
10, 12.
Oh, what yep. See, I was very proud of myself because I got it right. But yeah,
Just 12.
Roman numerals are not a strong point of mine. The 4 people that love Final Fantasy 8 were left sad. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, World of Final Fantasy, and the Wii exclusive Crystal Chronicles, which is not a horrible game, will not be joining their far superior brethren as well, or will be joining their far superior brethren as well.
Yeah, so I have a theory of why 8's not on there because 8's
no one likes it?
Well, no, because 8's on the PlayStation Mini thing.
Mate, that's kind of a dumb reason though, because so is 7.
Is 7 on the PlayStation
Yeah,
Mini? Oh,
7
never
is.
mind. Just kidding. I'm excited for this. I'll do 12 again. 12 is a great game.
See, but at this point, they need to get 1 through 6 on there and 8. Like, just have all the Final Fantasies there.
But that's what the DS is for.
That's true, but those cartridges are kind of hard to find now.
Are they?
Yeah. Pokemon developer Game Freak has announced their new RPG titled Town, which is set to release in 2019. Very few details were revealed about the game, except that it takes place in a single town, as its name suggests.
I have no fucking desire to play this game.
Just looks like a generic Japanese
Yeah,
RPG.
just give me more. Just give me Pokemon. That's all you need to make. That's
Stop worrying
literally
about
all
this.
you need to make. Yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo has announced new Joy-Con-esque Bluetooth NES controllers for the Switch for use with their upcoming Virtual Console titles. They will be sold in a bundle of 2 for $60 and will charge by sliding on the side of the Switch.
I showed you these. I showed you these at dinner last
Yes.
week. They're weird.
I like whenever
So,
he showed me
They're
it,
weird and dumb.
seeing them because they charge on the side of the on the Switch.
It looks photoshopped.
Well, I was just like, do you share the screen? Are
they-
you playing like head to head with it or something?
They-
Yeah,
they
it was just
show
for
you in the
charging.
video.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, when it's out like this, because I bet it's going to be about the size of this.
Sure.
When it's out like this, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm holding my phone for those of you
Sure.
that can't see.
I
our
mean, it
video.
looks like a Nintendo controller, but when it's on the side, you have no joysticks. You just have A, B, and then 2 directional pads.
Here's my bigger problem with that, though. You can't charge your Joy-Cons in any other way. And are people really going to be playing Virtual Console games so
Yeah,
often
no, absolutely
that they're going
not.
to choose to charge those over your Joy-Cons?
absolutely. Plus, it's just I don't know. They just look. I think it's a nostalgic thing. It's the people that bought Switch day one are going to buy these.
Well,
That's
I
all.
mean, like, I would, if I had disposable income to buy Nintendo shit, I would buy them, but I wouldn't. Why would I use them?
right. That's the whole point. Is like
Like,
they're
unless they give you a
useless.
better way to charge Joy-Cons, like, sorry, my Joy-Cons are always going to be more important.
I mean, there are Joy-Con like docks, like
Yeah, but
They're
they
all
probably cost
aftermarket.
$100.
Yeah, they're all
Or they're
aftermarket.
garbage.
They're not Nintendo brand. Nintendo. They're all aftermarket shit.
you're right.
That was my first thought when I saw it. I mean, they look fine and cool. And honestly, like, I don't think $60 for 2 is a bad deal.
Sure, but again, they just
they're
they're no. You can't
don't need
play.
them.
You can't go play not Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild with those on your Switch. You
Well,
just can't do
I
it.
think the whole point of it is just to go along with the virtual NES like titles that they're going
But
to be
you know what a
releasing.
much cooler idea is? Joy-Cons that are styled after the original NES controller.
Was that not already a thing?
That's
like
not
a
a
skin
thing.
for it. No.
Nope.
Wait,
that's not a thing.
Didn't you just say the same thing? What?
No, Joy-Cons
Oh, Joy-Cons
that are styled
just-
after an NES controller.
Yes, that would be much better than just having an NES controller go on the
because
side
you
of
can
your
use them
Switch.
for literally any game, Nintendo Switch
you
or
still
Virtual
got the
Console.
look.
Yep,
and
I
they look
agree.
cool.
I agree.
Because the best console, like limited edition they ever did was the NES Game Boy Advance.
No, the NES DS.
I think the Game Boy Advance was the first one.
That's what I was thinking of. I knew I remember like an NES like skin on something. It was the
like
the DS.
everyone they did after the SP was the same style, but it started with the SP, so that's the one that I always count. But I guess technically yes, the DS was probably better because it was bigger. But I owned the Game Boy, so
Sure.
I'm gonna let my bias be there. Nintendo finally revealed some solid details on their upcoming Switch Online membership. Prices will start at $3.99 for 1 month, $7.99 for 3 months, or $19.99 for a year. There is I used the wrong there. There is also a family membership for up to 8 Nintendo account holders, which will run for $34.99 for a year. The membership will include these features: online play, Nintendo Entertainment System. Players will have access to 20 NES titles at launch, and Nintendo promises to add more regularly. While the service will exclusively launch with NES titles, Nintendo says it is also looking to add SNES titles to the service in the future. Save Data Cloud Backup. Users will be able to back up their data to the cloud automatically, and also will be able to move data between systems. It is unclear how long your data will be stored in the cloud after a subscription lapse, but the FAQ seems to indicate that the cloud will be deleted immediately after a lapse.
Hold on. So you pay $19.99 a year.
Mm-hmm.
You have unlimited cloud backup. So you back up all your games.
Yes.
And let's say within that year, you like, fuck, I ran out of storage on my Switch. That's okay. I have it all in my cloud backup. End of the year comes around. Fuck, it's real tight. I need to cancel my Nintendo membership. All game saves are gone.
That's what it appears to be.
Fuck that. What the
People-
fuck, man?
So people are hearing conflicting things. Someone wrote into Kind of Funny Games Daily last week when Damon Hatfield was on, which was a good episode.
that's
You would
cool.
enjoy that. It was Damon and Jared. But they wrote into that episode and they said, hey, like I called Nintendo and they said that they can't guarantee that it won't be deleted immediately
Called
afterwards.
Nintendo.
I was going to say, that's
who the fuck
what
called
year is
Nintendo?
this?
Yeah.
They were like, I'm going to do some investigating
On their
my
fucking
own.
rotary phone, he's all clink, ding, 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 clink.
What's the thing that you say to the operator? You know, like back in like
Yes, can you connect me with Nintendo, please?
But you know, like back in like the 60s where you would answer, it would take you straight to an operator and you'd have to say like Klondike 621 and then they would connect you with the number that you said.
Oh, sure, I have no idea.
No.
I just remember like
You were alive back
you
then.
know.
I just
Yeah,
figured you knew.
can you connect me to Nintendo?
But yeah.
please?
And then they
The
move, they physically move the
Yeah,
cord
yeah,
from like
exactly.
one
Yeah,
to
can
the
you
other.
connect-
Yeah,
Yes.
that's literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
man.
know how it
It
works.
is the same one that's missing the N in Japan. Yes, that's the one.
So-
Yes, the one that killed the man. Yes,
I
that's
think
it.
I would be more frustrated about this if a year plan wasn't $20. Like,
I don't
PlayStation
know,
Plus.
man.
Does that justify it though?
yes. In my opinion, yes. Because for PlayStation Plus, I pay $60 per year. It's the price of a game. Well, actually, I pay more because I usually end
sure.
up paying monthly. So let's just say, because Trey doesn't know how to handle money, that I pay $120 a year
Sure.
for PlayStation Cloud storage.
Sure. Mhm.
If after $120 in 1 year, they deleted my saves, I would be pissed. But if I paid $20 or at most 7 times 12, math is hard for me right now, but that's 84.
Sure, yeah, but it's
Oh, that's a lot of
but
money,
it's
too.
but it's cloud storage. It's not
Are you
like
doing
we're,
7 times 12? It's 4.
Oh, 4 times 12. $48. See, even with $48, I just
but
I
it's
think
cloud storage. It's not like, I mean, when it comes to game saves, we're talking about like megabytes worth of data. Like videos I get, but like megabytes worth of data. Like, dude, you can get 15 gigs of storage for free from Google. Like, it just.
When I initially read this, I took it as I didn't realize they were going to be deleted. I thought it was just you're not going to have access to these saves, which to me that makes sense.
Sure,
I
that
checked
makes
this.
sense.
You're no longer paying for the
Before I put-
service, so
before I put that in the news, I checked that with I'm not kidding
Mm-hmm.
you, 10 different sources.
Yeah, see, that-
because
'cause
I was confused and I was like, I
Yeah,
need to
that
make
makes
sure I get
sense. That's
a
something
consistent answer.
PlayStation does. Like, if you're not paying for PlayStation Plus,
don't
you
have
can't
access.
access the cloud storage.
But then-
Everything's still
But then
there.
once you pay for it again, it's
it
still
all
there,
comes
yeah.
back. It's just if you, I don't know, man. To your point, like you're paying 20, sure, but I can get 15 gigs of free storage from Google for free. I can get 1 gig from Dropbox for free. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but-
Actually, so let's put this even in your example. Let's make it a little bit more, not necessarily realistic, but something I could easily see happening. So you pay for your year membership. Year rolls around. Your credit card expired. You get a new one. You're going through, filling out everything. You happen to forget to put in your account
Nintendo.
information for Nintendo. It lapses and all your saves are gone.
Yeah, that's
not because you couldn't afford it.
I'm
not anything like that.
I'm not
It's-
saying this is a perfect system. Sure. But I'm saying two things. Thing number one is that like if you don't have a physical backup of any of your data, it's kind of silly. Like if you really care about your game saves, which I don't really think any of us care about our game saves. There is not, unless it was something like the Destiny servers got wiped and I lost my Guardian.
Sure.
There's not, or World of Warcraft, but a lot of the shit that I care about is not
all-
connected to
yeah.
a save.
Yeah.
But like if I lost my Spider-Man save tomorrow, I wouldn't be upset about that.
Yeah, but what if you wanted to go back and play the DLC? You just start the game over again?
But that's the thing about modern DLC is a lot of times I give you the option just to skip to the DLC.
Yeah, that's true. But you wouldn't be able to run through with your cool like neon black Spider-Man suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
sure, but like
No.
I'm excited for the Spider-Man DLC, so that's a weird exception.
Sure.
But like Horizon Zero Dawn is something that I lost my save for because I switched consoles.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't upload it to the cloud. I didn't have it. I was probably like I really want to play Frozen Wilds, but like the fact that I didn't have the right save
Yeah.
didn't stop me. I just don't go back to DLC.
I think I don't know. I like my saves. Like it's just, and for the purpose of single player RPGs, DLC. Like if Andromeda ever had DLC, my Andromeda save is right there on my
Like,
PlayStation. You know what I mean?
You know, but I think obviously like there are certain saves that everyone cares about.
Yeah.
But I would challenge you, maybe not now, or if you can do it off the top of your head, great. But like, are there 5 games that you care about your saves for? And if you care about those 5 games, why wouldn't you
they're
also
backed-
have it
they're on
backed
my
up on your
PlayStation.
console
Sure.
or on a
yeah,
external
you're
hard
100%
drive or in the
right.
cloud?
Yeah, you're 100% right.
And I also think that, for the Google analogy, part of the thing that sucks about consoles that I hate is that they nickel and dime us for things that we
Sure,
get for free
yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah.
That sucks, but that's not different than what Xbox and PlayStation
Yeah,
are
it's
doing,
true.
You know?
It's very true. I don't know. It doesn't seem sleazy. It sucks.
I don't understand.
That kind of sucks.
I don't understand the thought process behind it. Like,
Sure.
if you have a limited amount of data and you're trying to save it by or consolidate it by getting rid of people who are no longer part of your service,
Sure.
why not cap how much cloud
Well, I was
data
going to say,
people can
I think that's
use?
probably the issue because this is
Why have it
That's what
unlimited?
PlayStation does.
Sure, and I think that's the issue. This is literally, I mean, it proves again, Nintendo's still like 10 years behind the curve when it comes to anything online. And I think that's probably the reason
Yeah.
is because they don't have the capability to back up, thousands of terabytes of data.
But that's why you cap like how much people
Sure,
can use.
well,
You don't
of
make
course,
it unlimited.
Of course, but I think that might be the reason.
Yeah, I think you guys. I think you guys are both right that obviously I don't prefer this to be the system, but I also think Chris hit it on the head. I guarantee you that when this came up, Nintendo did not think it was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because they're probably thinking about it from my perspective.
Sure.
You're going to have 3 different backups of that save if you really care about it.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't matter if we lose the one in the cloud.
Unless you have Breath of the Wild installed on your system, then you just have nothing.
I was going to say that's
Yeah.
that's
Absolutely nothing.
it. That is your system.
Yep.
Yeah. Next up on our features, the smartphone app for people who don't like Discord.
Again, that's what I mean. They're still 10 years behind the curve. Why the fuck are you launching an online service without any sort of voice chat on your console?
Yeah, I mean, so like the PlayStation app is really cool and helpful.
Sure.
but I don't need to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber to get that.
But you also
I also
don't-
have more social benefits.
Yeah,
that I
but
get
you
through.
also don't need to open your PlayStation app to freaking get into a PlayStation party when you're playing Destiny with your friends.
Well, they do.
It's just-
Nintendo does this to protect like their younger players, right? Isn't that the thing?
No.
That's probably their marketing
Well,
reason.
that's what they say.
Yeah,
but
that's
I mean,
probably,
but this
that's
would
probably their PR reason for
this
sure.
would also go along with it too, because theoretically,
I just-
you will be an older person if you have a smartphone.
So
theoretically,
this is something that again something that doesn't really matter to me because how many up until Nintendo launches their Destiny style game, like
Yeah.
there aren't really going to be any games that I really want to voice communicate with on Switch.
Sure.
And if I have to do it, it's not bad to do it. through
Sure, you
Discord.
don't need. Sure,
But
yes.
the problem with this, I think, lies back to the same problem that Chris pointed out with the cloud saves. Nintendo just doesn't fucking understand.
Right.
They've never understood.
So the thing is, it's voice technology. It's a telephone. It's a telephone.
I just
Somebody invented voice chat fucking, over 100 years ago. Come on, Nintendo. You can't put it on your damn console online service?
and I just also think too that like there's a certain thing of like maybe part of my lackadaisical like attitude to this has to do with the fact that I don't really believe that outside of like 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds, like I don't believe that the Switch is anyone's primary console.
Sure, of course not.
Like most people are getting their gaming experiences on their
Right.
other consoles or
and
PC.
and I say this mainly, and not necessarily to bust Nintendo's balls, but just because it's like, it's just dumb. That's the thing. It's dumb. But like you said, if Nintendo comes out with the Pokemon MMO that everybody's fucking wanted for years, and it's on the Switch, then we have a problem. Yeah. If I have to open my phone and keep my phone available for me when I'm playing this Pokemon MMO that's never going to happen, but hypothetically if it does, if my phone is being used to talk to people while I play this MMO, it's like that's just stupid, Nintendo.
And one more thing to remember too is when PlayStation launched PlayStation Plus, it was a disaster. The entire existence of the PS3.
Sure.
So I would almost rather have no party chat in the console than
Sure.
a party chat that doesn't work for 8 years. So,
And still doesn't work effectively.
oh yeah, just voice chat was not a thing.
Yeah,
obviously.
literally takes fucking. I don't know how long it takes for an Xbox to set up a party, but like if you're in game and you leave in game, the PlayStation UI is so bad that it takes almost a minute to set up a party. It's ridiculous.
Everything on the base PS4 takes forever. Whether
God,
it's
it's
Destiny
fucking
or just
ridiculous.
the UI. Something that's scary. And I don't know if you noticed this with your PS4. Your PS4 is a little bit newer than Whitney's.
Sure.
But so I was playing Spider-Man's fine. It doesn't really like tax the console all that much. But when I play Destiny, that thing sounds like it's about to lift off. like we're gonna have a PlayStation hole in the ceiling.
I don't know. I don't notice that. However, I have noticed I've noticed more FPS drops since Forsaken than I've ever have before.
I
It's
can't
pretty
hear
bad.
it with my headphones, so I take it off, and I'm just like, "Holy shit! Is there like a helicopter in my room?" So the last thing for Nintendo Switch Online special offers. No details have been announced yet, but it's probably discounts or something stupid.
Virtual console
Also,
discounts. I don't know. That's another thing. Is like why you're launching an online service and the Nintendo games thing where you can just play the NES games is cool, but it's just get your virtual console on your
yeah.
fucking Switch, man. Come on,
that's such
God damn it!
such a big fuck up. You've launched the Virtual
Seriously.
Console 4 times. 3 times.
3 times,
Three
sure,
times.
yeah.
We use 3DS.
Yeah,
Why is it not on the Switch?
because I don't know. I don't
It's
fucking
so
know.
fucking stupid. Why can't I play A Link Between Worlds on a Switch?
Can you imagine, like, a Nintendo, if you're listening to this, I want you to listen carefully. I would have given you so much more money than I have, which is not a lot because we only bought the Switch and Zelda. I would have given you so much more money if I could download red, blue. I would literally download red, blue, yellow, fucking gold, silver. I would download everything. No shit.
The entire Pokemon library.
The entire Pokemon library if I had the chance to play it on my TV.
You know what I think I figured out?
Fuck, man.
So you know how they have that new Nintendo console thing, right?
Yeah.
And technically you could link that to your 3DS and then to your Switch so that you have like one unifying account.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why they're dragging the feet on that is because they realize that they can't monetize it anymore.
Probably.
Because if you've already bought red, blue, and yellow on
Yeah.
your 3DS,
Yeah.
you can't buy it again on your Switch, so
Yep.
you're just getting it for free.
Yep.
And guess what? Their base, the people that care about the virtual console, they all already own those games.
Yep. Because I know for a fact, we've bought yellow. I want to say gold. And I think we've bought red. But yeah, I just want to play those games on my TV because they're not high res, but it'd be
remember
super
that.
fucking cool to play Pokemon on my TV.
Did you guys ever have that Super Nintendo cartridge that you could put Game Boy games into?
No, but I had the GameCube thing where you could put Game Boy games into.
Yep, I had that one too.
Yeah.
I remember just playing gold and silver on my TV, and I was
Yep.
like, "This is the future."
It's awesome. It's fucking great. But
Yeah.
whatever.
And that's it for our first news item.
Way to go, Nintendo.
These next ones should go a little bit more quickly though. THQ Nordic either has deep pockets or they really know how to find a deal. The publisher has now acquired 2 new intellectual properties, Alone in the Dark and the RTS franchise Act of War. In the last month, the publisher has acquired rights to Kingdoms of Amalur. I didn't say that right.
Yeah, no, Amalur, you got
Okay,
it.
cool. And earlier this year, they also bought Koch Media, which held the rights for Saints Row, Metro, and the Dead Island franchise. And they bought
Coke
it.
Media?
Yeah. And they also, I think Koch Media bought it from.
I would have said Koch, to be 100% honest.
My stepdad used to work for an oil company called Coke. and it's
Oh,
spelled that
okay.
way.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I know how to pronounce that. But I
Got it.
did initially type Kock when I was doing the notes.
Cock.
I was like, what is on my mind?
I like how you put Saints Row. There's no
yes,
W. Row.
Oh, I feel like that's smart, though.
Sure.
I feel like I just made that more Saints Row-y.
Also, when did Coke? I was about to say cock. When did Coke get Saints Row?
I'm pretty sure they might have picked it up after THQ folded.
Oh, okay. I just never knew anybody picked it up.
I kind of also feel like they were like one of those shadow publishers, like the guys that
I thought it was
bought.
Volition. Oh no, THQ did pick it up after Volition went under.
No, Volition. So Volition was a developer,
Sure.
but THQ owned the IP.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, yeah.
And Dead Island 2?
Yep. They own a shit ton of things, Chris.
What the fuck?
I mean, they also own Darksiders.
Coke.
The new Darksiders game that is coming out is THQ Nordic.
I've legit. Well, I mean, I also just Coke Media. I didn't know they had even those 3 because those are big franchises. Not big. I would call
not
them
small.
I would call them B tier franchises.
Vamp for a second.
B
'cause
plus?
I regret not
No.
doing this, but
Well, maybe B plus. I love.
I would
Saints
say Saints Row.
I love Saints Row 2
and Dead
1, 2,
Island.
and 3 are fucking phenomenal. Dead Island was okay.
It was okay, but it did well.
Yeah, because I remember Dead Island was supposed to come out like 3 years ago at E3. Dead Island announced Dead Island 2 with that dude running, and then the girl runs up beside him. He's all, "Hey, look at my penis," and then she turns into a zombie, and then he's all, "Ah!"
Yeah,
and
don't look at my penis, no.
no, don't. And then But it was supposed to be like 8-player cooperative Dead Island. It was like, that sounds great. But then we haven't heard anything from that in a long ass time.
Yeah. I'm wondering though if these acquisitions, if they're the same situation as far as like they own the IP but not the what was it, like the release
I don't
rights
know.
to it?
Because
That's the whole thing with Kings of Amalur, right?
Sure, but that's the thing is THQ is a publisher more than they are a developer anymore because THQ used to develop games. They used to do all the wrestling games. They used to do like WWE No Mercy and NWO versus WCW Revenge on the 64. THQ used to develop those games, but now they publish because THQ still does the WWE games, but 2K develops them.
Right.
So like 2K19, which I don't 100% know if THQ publishes the 2K basketball franchise. I don't know if they do or not. I would assume they did since it's literally the same thing. But then they picked up all this shit. I didn't know THQ was fucking taking over the world. Like, what
So
the
it's
fuck?
but it's not. So that's the thing though, is it's not THQ. This is such a weird. This is really weird. So the company was originally called just Nordic. Let me find that. Yeah, Nordic. Yeah, they're originally called Nordic Games. They've existed since 2011. They published Arcania Fall of Arcania.
Sure, yeah, no, yeah.
They published Alan Wake on Windows. They published Painkiller, The Book of Unwritten Tales.
I recognize a
Let me
few of
see.
those.
Let me see if there's
No
like
Alan
one more
Wake?
big thing on here.
Well, no, Alan Wake and Arcania are two that I recognize.
Those are kind of like the two big ones. They also published The Vanishing of Ethan Carter on Windows.
and that was
2014.
Nordic.
That was Nordic.
So when did THQ
So-
come into the fold?
They've existed since 2011. In 2013, they bought pretty much all of THQ's intellectual properties.
Nordic did.
And then they renamed themselves in August 2016 to THQ Nordic.
Okay, so Nordic is taking over the world.
So it's kind of hard to see all the IP they own because I'm not sure if all of it is in.
Damn Vikings.
So then this makes sense for Nordic because
Sure.
they obviously have a history of just
Sure.
kind of
and,
just getting IP.
So like,
But no, they don't. That's the thing, though, is a lot of shit that they published or developed. It's hard to tell, like, whether. Actually, hold on. Let me go back up. It does say.
well, that's the issue.
A lot of this stuff was distribution. They didn't own Alan Wake. They had no stake in it. They just distributed it for Windows because Microsoft didn't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to run into a problem. Like you're not going to get a Kingdoms of Amalur remake anytime soon because EA still they may own the IP, but EA still owns the publishing rights. Even though Nordic is a publisher, they can't publish an IP that they bought. Which I don't know if they're going to run into the same thing with all those. I don't know if like Saints Row after I don't know. I don't know.
Well, obviously they
don't
didn't
know.
because they own Red Faction and they published the Red Faction remaster.
That's
So
true.
they're probably willing to split some of these profits because I guarantee you, like Colin said on SideQuest this week that he heard that they bought Kingdoms of Amalur for less than 7 figures.
Wow.
So they bought it from the state of Rhode Island for 6 figures.
Wow.
For an intellectual property, even for Kingdoms of Amalur, which wasn't a smashing success, which brought that game and that studio down, it still sold at least 1 million copies.
Yeah, yeah, easily.
So that means that they bought it for significantly more,
Wow.
or for significantly less than it's worth.
yeah.
So buying a game like Kingdoms of Amalur and saying we're going to remaster it and we'll split this money with EA or the state of
sure.
Rhode Island, not losing anything
No,
because if they sell 1 million
absolutely not.
copies, they've made their money back.
Pretty good.
But it's
Damn good.
Good investments, I guess.
ever,
Just
like-
Well, I think that's what they're doing, right? Like, haven't I said it before? If I was like a Japanese, or if I was like I think I've said it before. I would, if I had money to burn, buy a bunch of different things. Saints Row will always sell. Always. There's no question that Saints Row is going to sell. Dead Island, it's a zombie game. Of course it's going to fucking sell. Amalur, I'd buy a remaster of Amalur. They're just making smart purchases.
They're like the trashy Disney.
Yeah, sure. Sure, yeah, exactly.
It's weird though, because like when I was reading the Wikipedia article about this, like you ever had that moment where you just kind of feel like you stumbled into a conspiracy theory? Because it's just weird. The company's weird, and it just feels weird that they're doing so much stuff.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, what'd you nerds think of Captain Marvel, the trailer?
I didn't understand it.
Oh,
I liked it.
That sounds dumb, but like it. I was very much like, what is happening in this?
I didn't know it was in like the 80s. It takes place like in the 80s or 90s.
90s,
Yeah, that makes it a lot less appealing to me.
Really?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I don't know because I don't after everything that's happened in the Marvel universe, I don't think I necessarily need to go back an entire movie. I need you to send me forward because
Like-
everything you're doing forward is a lot more interesting than whatever happened in the 80s.
Well, I
feel
think I think it gives this movie a little bit more flexibility with like you don't have to fit Captain Marvel necessarily into everything that's going on in Infinity War. It's like really set up who she is and then at the end figure out how she's going to
I
lead
mean,
into this.
I understand it. I don't need to go back to the 80s,
90s.
90s, whatever it is. I'd rather you push me forward, not send me backwards in whatever they're doing now.
I would agree
That's
with
all.
you, but it seems like a lot of this movie takes place in Kree space.
Okay, yeah, and you
and
probably
so for-
need all that to explain what the hell is going to happen
Yeah.
in 4, whatever.
So for
whatever the
me,
new
I'm
Avengers
fine with that
is.
because the Marvel cosmic stuff is my
Sure.
favorite shit.
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
Marvel. So
Plus,
I'm
she's
okay
all
with that.
that's Captain Marvel, man. She's literally a god.
Yeah, someone was like, "Oh, they really want to show her aging technology because they're going to make her 20 years older." It's like, no, they're going to be like, "Oh, she doesn't age because she's a space warrior."
Right, exactly.
Spoiler.
Is that
Rock-
a spoiler?
I mean, some people still think that everyone died in Avengers: Infinity War, and they're
It's
gonna be,
true. There are literally people who will go to the grave arguing that Bucky is not coming back.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, I had people, I don't remember who I was talking to. I had people who were legitimately upset and confused, like, why would you kill off Black Panther? His movie did so well, and
Or
how are you just going to do this?
or
and
the
I'm
fact
like,
that-
you realize
Is the
he's
Spider-Man
not
sequel
gone.
gonna take place before Infinity War?
or the fact that the Spider-Man sequel is already announced and almost finished production, and
So-
it takes place later in the timeline apparently. So it's like, oh yeah, no, Tom Holland's not. He's dead.
One more-
Spider-Man's dead.
No, Tom Holland
yeah,
himself is dead.
One more quick sidebar, but you know, like that nerdy stuck-up feeling that like we all judge other people for having,
Sure.
where you're just like don't be a dick about liking nerd stuff. I always have that feeling around the time that Marvel movies come out. I
Well,
always
that's
have that
because-
feeling where I feel like a stuck-up nerd. I'm like, you guys don't know anything about this, and
well,
you're
that's
talking
be-
about it like you
so,
do, and it
well, that's
bothers me.
because now and
and it's a
there-
bad habit. But
It's, but in somewhat of a defense of that, there are. So I thought about it this way, and I it could be me being an asshole, but I've spent and invested money, time, and a lot of my life in reading comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So in a certain way, I deserve to be stuck up about comic book movies. Does that make sense?
yeah, I guess that's kind of how I feel.
You know what I mean? So like somebody who's just a Marvel fan, like, oh man, I love the movies, da 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 da, and then you ask, like, hey, what'd you think about Tony Stark in the comics being a drunk? And he's not really that way in the movie. It's like, well, I only watch the movies. I've never read comics. It's like, okay, then you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like you don't get it then. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
that's okay. But I've invested a shit ton of my life into understanding all of this, which to me makes the movies better.
Yeah.
And so I, quote unquote, and I don't deserve to be an asshole, but I quote unquote deserve to be kind of stuck up about comic book movies.
I think it just started because after a certain amount of those Marvel movies, people feel like they can argue with you.
Sure, exactly.
They feel like they understand it better than you.
Exactly, and
it's
they
like,
don't.
You don't.
Right.
And
You
that's
can't-
okay.
You can't come to me and argue about Batman because you've seen
Yeah.
the three fucking Nolan movies, because that's not fucking Batman.
Like
It's not.
I will never critique Justin's Quidditch playing because I don't understand it.
Sure.
And if I did, he should be an asshole to me.
Sure.
And that's kind of how
However,
I
if
feel.
Justin
Like, don't
co-
tell me things that I know.
However,
That'd be
if
a fun conversation.
Yeah. However, if Justin comes to me arguing that Christian Bale is literally the best Batman, and I will punch you in the nuts because he's not.
Also, cosplay.
Who's the best Batman? Cinematic Batman.
Probably- Oh, cinematic wise,
Well, yeah, I mean, because that's
George Clooney.
I think Keaton's my
I was
favorite.
going to say probably Michael Keaton. He's not the best Bruce Wayne, but he's the best Batman.
And best Bruce. I really think the best Bruce Wayne is Christian Bale.
No way, dude. Val Kilmer was awesome as Bruce Wayne.
I don't know that I have seen enough of.
Adam
Val Kilmer.
West.
I thought no.
I'm
Actually, you know what? I really think Ben Affleck's a fucking phenomenal
I
Batman.
think he's a good older Batman.
Sure, yeah, old, but I think he's fucking phenomenal.
So
as
when
Batman.
I look at when I think about Playboy Batman, I think of Christian Bale.
yeah.
I think Val Kilmer. I don't know why.
Maybe
I know he's.
I
I know
like
he's
Christian- I
blonde.
like
I know he's
Christian Bale.
blonde
Batman as well.
I know he's blonde, but like I really like. Val
I
Kilmer's-
don't like Ben Affleck as Batman just because I don't really like the whole overly tech armor tank Batman. That just kind of ruins it for
You
me.
should be able to separate the poor decisions of Zack
Sure.
Snyder from the actor.
Sure.
But I
Like,
just like
I-
Christian Bale just feels like more grounded, I guess.
I
don't
hate
know.
Zack Snyder.
Well, that's because the Nolan Batman is more grounded.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
I hate Zack Snyder Superman, but I still think Henry Cavill's one of the best Supermans we've ever
I
had.
100% agree with that.
I would, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, like
he's a
Nolan,
douchebag, but,
Nolan's
you know.
Batman
But I
is.
feel like the Superman, the bar for like a good Superman's kind of low. I don't know.
Here, real quick before we move on. Here's my problem
Who's
with
the paralyzed guy that's a good Superman?
Christopher Reeves.
There you go. I feel like he set a high bar.
No, Christopher Reeves. I don't think Christopher Reeves was a good Superman, but whatever.
He was good
I
like
think,
60s and 70s.
Sure,
I was gonna
okay,
say that's one of those
sure,
like
that's
historical
fine,
things.
sure.
Like, yes, he was great back then, but
Sure.
Better than Adam West Batman.
hey, shark repellent.
On a
Listen,
quick
come on.
side, dude, on a quick side note, Bale's Batman. I think he's a fine Batman,
Mm-hmm.
except I don't think Nolan understands who Bruce ever was.
He didn't want to, though. That's why those movies are bad.
Yeah, because Bruce. I mean, the movies themselves aren't bad. I still think The Dark Knight is probably one of the best movies in cinema history.
You know,
But as a Batman movie, it's not good because Bale and Snyder just did not understand who Bruce was. Bruce, dude, it's fucking Bruce
You know
Wayne.
that
Dude will never freaking get off his high horse about being Batman. So the fact that he's like, oh, I'm done being a Dark Knight, that's like, that is not Bruce Wayne. That is never going to be Bruce Wayne. That's never who Bruce Wayne ever was. Fuck, when Bruce Wayne fucking died in the fight against Joker and came back to fucking life, his first fucking goal was to find out how to be Batman again.
so you know that narrative device when like someone says something and then the person has a flashback and like sends them back to like a distant memory. Us talking about how we didn't like the like how we think the Christian Bale
Sure,
or
yeah.
those Batman movies are not as great as everyone think they are.
Yep.
That's our first real nerd conversation.
Probably. Oh,
we
is
were
it really?
walking out of GameStop to the trash, and we were having like this impassioned debate as we're closing down the store. And then I think that was the day where I was like, Chris and I will be friends.
Yeah. I love.
here you are, years
I
later.
again, I love I love the Nolan movies. I still think The Dark Knight is probably the greatest movie I've ever watched, minus Return of the Last Jedi. A great fucking movie. Cinematography, just the way it feels, the overall feeling that you get when you see Slater as a Joker and Batman in that interrogation room for the first time. Like, it's so fucking good. I'm sorry, not Slater. What?
Yeah, it was.
Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Thank you. Who's Heath Slater? Oh, he's a wrestler. Never mind.
Yeah.
Your
Anyway,
worlds are blending
I-
together.
Still think it's one of the greatest movies in cinema history.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not good. They're not good Batman movies.
The second one's good because of the Joker, but I still think they're all just bad Batman movies.
Sorry, Justin.
I like them.
Short episode.
I
we
like the
said.
third one too.
You wouldn't give the trigger to a common citizen. Where's the trigger?
I was born and raised in the dark. You just took a vacation down there.
No, he's all. No, I'm not gonna- I don't remember what he says.
That's pretty much what he says. That's not the exact quote, but that's pretty damn close.
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body.
There you go.
Also, seriously, Bane was a fucking luchador wrestler that got injected with
But he
venom.
was way
be
cooler
No, he was
in,
not.
I think so.
in this movie.
no,
yes,
he was
So
not.
he is not a great villain.
The Bane in fucking George Clooney's movie is better because he's all bomb.
You're insane.
He's a D-list villain, like regardless of what incarnation.
Joe, yeah,
he
you're
is.
right. You're 100% right.
Third one was still better than the comic one.
Luchador Bane is worse.
That's
Bane.
what he was.
Rockstar has officially announced Red Dead Online, which is set to launch in public beta for all Red Dead Redemption 2 owners in November 2018. In an exclusive interview with IGN, Rockstar said that it will take elements of Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, quote, much further and combine that with everything we've learned in the years since then with our favorite elements from Grand Theft Auto Online, end quote. The developer promises that they have more news to come.
Their favorite elements, which means transforming races.
Yeah.
They talked a lot about heist. Like
Yeah.
that was one of those things where they were kind of like, Grand Theft Auto Online didn't really find its voice until we launched Heist.
Yeah.
And so it seems like that's kind of the
I
slant
think-
they're taking.
I
Well,
think
and I think
that's
that's the
RDO.
I think that's the easiest thing that can translate.
I wouldn't
between
say
the two.
easiest. I think most logical thing.
Yeah, right, like
yeah,
direct line. That one
Sure,
makes sense.
transforming races is not going to work in Red Dead Redemption Online. You can't have your horse transform from horse to like a fucking.
Hold on. Wait, listen to what you're saying. and then apply that to 5 years ago with Grand Theft Auto Online, and then tell me that it sounds less ridiculous.
Sure. Okay. I
You have a point.
Like if
Two-
your horse transformed
two
into a
fucking-
biplane, that would be fucking cool.
too fucking Shay. However, I would rather have my Red Dead Online experience be more grounded than my Grand Theft Auto experience. Because Grand Theft Auto is ridiculous. Grand Theft Auto is the definition of chaos in a video game. Red Dead minus the zombie, right?
That's what I was
it's a
gonna
little
say.
bit more
Touche, that's what I was
grounded.
gonna
Like
say, but
touche
some-
to my touche.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree with that.
Yeah, but
I-
sometimes people forget. Like, I mean, Red Dead did like in its DLC have
Sure, the
zombies
weird zombie
and
shit, yeah.
the skeleton like horse of
Sure,
the
yeah,
apocalypse.
the four horses of the apocalypse.
That
but-
was also a separate instance.
Yeah.
And from my recollection of that time, the base Red Dead Redemption Online was always more popular than the zombie one.
I think it was too. Just because there was more, there was no heist, but you could go do like little side missions together and do shit like that. We talked about it last week and then probably the week before. I would just love to see multiple heists and multiple like small missions that you can go do as a group of or a gang of outlaws. You know what I mean?
I actually really agree with that more serious tone because I think that's why Red Dead Redemption is the only Grand Theft or Rockstar game that I've ever finished.
Yeah.
Was just because it
Because it's
took
more
itself
serious.
seriously.
Sure. Yep.
But I'm really excited to see Twin Stick Adventures here. So everyone buy Red Dead on your PS4.
Yep.
And we can
100%.
I'm
We
excited.
just
for
won't
that.
be able to do the
And
cool
our-
four screen thing.
Our
I liked-
clan,
I
our
liked-
clan could be called the Cowboys.
Actually, it would still probably be whatever
Twin
the-
Stick Cowboys.
It would be whatever it is on PC and PlayStation.
Fuck.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, well then it's some weird ass thing that I came up with. When I was
we would because we're part of that gang still.
oh well,
I think
shit.
those
I
games
have to.
translate.
That carries it
Can I
over?
make like a Red Dead gang?
Do it.
Twin Stick Cowboys.
Twin Stick Cowboys.
I don't like that.
That
Why
sounds
not?
like the name of a gay porn.
No, it does not.
It does.
But cowboys are outlaws.
Yeah.
Cowboys have. I mean,
We'll workshop it.
okay.
Someone
fine.
send us Google Docs with names for our Red Dead Redemption clan.
I just liked my reaction GIF whenever you posted it, and I posted it's the Reno 911.
Yeah, where
him
he's like
jumping
flicking his boot, and
Yeah,
mine's all
he-
serious.
So one of the unfortunate things
You
about
tell him
having,
I'm coming.
about having like someone who's actually monitoring our social media is I miss things all the time. I had no idea that Davian responded to being called out until yesterday.
Yep.
And I got
Yep.
a lot of joy from that.
Yep.
Love you, Damien. Sony has announced the PlayStation Classic. The retro console will come fully loaded with 20 games, including Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, and Ridge Racer Type 4, among others. And it will cost $99.99 at launch. The PlayStation Classic is 45% smaller than the original PS1 and will come with 2 DualShock controllers. And it's a waste of money.
I was gonna say I feel like I could go buy a PlayStation 1 for like $20,
I think you can buy all these games on PlayStation 4.
or just buy them all on PlayStation 4 for maybe under $100.
Yeah, I think they're all like less than $5.
It's just that it's dumb. It's Sony like, man, Nintendo had a really good idea. We should do it too, guys.
Yeah, they're capitalizing off of it, and it's
I
not
don't know
even a
why
good
they
idea
had-
to begin with.
I don't know why they had a southern accent. They're all, oh, Nintendo had a good idea. We do
Can
now
you
too.
imagine Asians with Texan accents?
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a guy in like
Not
the early
all.
2000s called Jimmy Wang in wrestling.
No.
And he was an Asian dude, but
No.
he came out like full cowboy gear.
It's amazing.
Yeah, his name
So-
was Jimmy Wang.
It's a dream come true.
You know, Asians can live in Texas,
So-
right? Like they can.
Did you guys ever watch Dirty Jobs?
Yeah.
No.
There was an episode where he went to like a cow farm and he was talking to this guy, and I've been looking for this clip for 10 years. So if anyone can find this, please. But the guy was Mexican, but
Okay.
he had a Mexican and Southern accent at the same time. And it was majestic.
Interesting.
Like not majestic in a good way. It was like exactly how ridiculous you imagine it. But this is the kind of person that you just want to put on the radio so that you can have as many hours as possible of him just talking.
Interesting.
It was amazing, and I can't find it. I almost want to go through and watch every episode of Dirty
Just
Jobs
to
until I
find it?
It's not a bad idea. It's a great show.
Yeah.
That's the one with Mike Rowe where he goes and does all that, like
Yeah,
sticking
He
his
does
hand
dirty
up.
jobs.
Yeah, no, I can't watch that shit.
Last but certainly not least, Destiny 2's, and I actually think I got something wrong on here, so Chris, correct me.
Got it.
Destiny 2's Last Wish raid launched on Friday, and only 2 raid teams were able to beat it within 24 hours of launch. Clan Redeem was the first team to complete the raid and did so in 18 hours and 48 minutes. For comparison, the Leviathan raid was completed in 5 hours and 34 minutes. After the raid was completed, new content and a new cutscene, which I think you get through the mission, right?
No, just the first time you load into the Dreaming City on your character, you'll get it.
I did not get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you finish the Dreaming City the first mission?
What's the first mission?
So you have to do the first Dreaming City like mission, and then in the timeline, then the raid would have happened, and then you'll get the cutscene. So like the week before,
so the first mission that you finished is that getting to
the Dreaming
Mara?
City, but then
Oh, shit.
yeah, but
Fuck. Sorry if I spoiled that for you, but
Yeah.
I assume you already played
yeah,
it.
getting to the Dreaming City, then you have that, and then in the timeline, the raid would have happened, and then loading back in again, you'll
I
get the
didn't
cutscene.
But
Interesting.
I logged in for the first time yesterday, so maybe it's just a time thing.
Maybe.
I'll have to explore.
Spoils the raid, by the way.
Oh,
it's
it spoils the raid
I don't-
hard.
I already we already knew.
Well, no, but like somebody loading into the Dreaming City for the first time after the raid's completed, and you want to go in blind and not have like lore spoiled for you.
So I
kind of get that.
I don't
It
feel
kind of sucks.
So yeah, I know Everett didn't want to know that, but here's the thing: like, if you are a Destiny nerd and you care about the lore, like Riven has existed enough in the lore that
You
you
should know
already
what
knew
it
what
is.
Riven
Yep.
was. So technically, the final boss of the campaign spoiled what Riven was.
Sure.
If you don't know who Riven is, you don't know what spoiler
Sure.
and Hamkara is
Sure.
in spoiler. So
You're
like
not keeping up
it's
with
not
it,
gonna
yeah.
it's not important.
Yeah.
It shows the boss too. in the
Sure.
cutscene.
Sure, but
Like
it's
if you didn't even know what an Ahamkara was, like
I saw the cutscene.
Yeah, what it
I
looks
watched
like.
it online before the thing, but yeah, but I don't feel like it. Again, it's like those weird like black and white drawings. I just don't. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I think from a certain perspective, sure. But if you, I think so. You have like a certain mindset. If you care that much about the lore in Destiny, you are either one following the raid and already understood that you're okay with spoilers because you know you're not going to finish it, or two, you already were in the raid trying to finish it before anybody
Yeah,
else.
and-
Like I think if you cared that much about that, you knew that spoilers were going to come as soon as the raid was done.
But I would rather live in a world where that stuff, where the raid is more heavily incorporated into the story,
100%.
than a world where it's not. Because
100%.
technically, if you think about the end of Crota, the end of Oryx, the way that that's resolved at the end of the DLC story, if you don't complete the raid, it still makes sense that they're dead.
Sure, yeah.
So really, with Destiny 1, none of those raids really were incorporated into the main story.
Sure. They just rounded out the entire story just
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general. Yeah, absolutely.
I like this better, where it's
I
like,
do too.
this is happening and this is affecting the world, and fuck you if you weren't there on day one.
Yeah, I like
Sorry, Everett.
I actually really like that they took the route of like WoW. So like in the or let's take Taken King for example. Once you kill Oryx at the end, he just floats off into space and is floating somewhere in Saturn, the orbit of Saturn, somewhere. But nothing changed after that. Like you just saved the world. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
Now in this one, they very much took a WoW turn. It's like you beat the raid and shit's happening because you beat the raid. Because this has happened, a story is progressing. And that's my point about playing Destiny. It's like I'm still playing because this right here is what's keeping me in Destiny.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking cool. It is super fucking cool that as soon as that raid was finished, when you log on, it literally says a group of 6 guardians. It's like that. I took a screenshot of that because that's super cool. That means Clan Redeemed. That's
Is in
the
the
6.
lore.
They're in the lore. Those 6 guys are forever going to be in the Destiny lore because that it happened. They finished it first. They are the one that killed Riven first, and it shows up like it's there, and it's super fucking cool. And I'm so glad Destiny decided to really like do something like that. I understand Everett's side. It's like, man, like I wanted to be blind, but again, there's more. Like if you really wanted to be blind, then you would have tried to finish the raid as soon as possible. You know what I mean? Huh? Sure, and he did.
Oh, you
That's-
beat the raid?
no, but I tried.
Sure.
Oh, tried to beat the
But
raid.
then also, like, you got to be of the other mindset. It's like, if you know you're not going to beat the raid, but you're that into the lore, you just got to know you're going to get spoiled.
It would be different if I had also beaten the raid and then the changes went through. but it was just everything changed.
Sure, but then that locks you out of content, right? That locks you out of weekly content. Oh, that's not fun. Locking somebody out of weekly content that's there for everybody else that hasn't beaten the raid is not fine.
I get it. I do, but I just want all of the lore in Destiny to get to a point where it's happening on the same page and it's happening in the same thing. Like, I don't want to exist in a world where we just don't talk about the Vault of Glass.
Sure.
We don't talk about the raid for the Iron Lords.
And you know,
just because we're afraid that it might ruin someone's experience.
Sure.
But I also think that like something like I again, it's not that I don't see where you're coming from. So I'm not fighting you on this,
to
but
go.
but when you also like seeing the Ahamkara at the end, like that is one section that doesn't spoil really any major mechanics or anything, and you don't even get to see how it moves or works. Like it's just a drawing of a worm.
Sure, or more like a dragon.
I mean, in the picture, it kind of looks like a worm.
Yeah, I guess it looks more like a worm with 4 appendages wrapped around a weird stone egg.
It is not the
like,
way
that's
I
how
imagined
worms
an
look.
Ahamkara to look.
I definitely did not imagine Ahamkara to look like
I
that,
was
but
thinking like a
Ahamkara are
dragon.
also shapeshifters.
that's
So
true.
we've learned that that's not even that could not even be its true form.
This isn't even its final form.
Right. Anyway, 2 things. I love that there's a huge skill gap for this. I think that's 100% okay. I saw an argument on Twitter between Destin Legary and Andrea Renee from Kind of Funny or What's Good Games.
Yeah.
I saw kind of like an argument between them on Twitter or a dispute. The Andrea Renee was saying that, or whatever her name is, was saying that
that's
it's not okay that there weren't more people that were able to finish the raid in the first 24. That was not okay. The fact that people couldn't grind to that light level was not okay. And Justin was like, you could have tried it. Everybody could have gone in there. He said he was like 530 something when he went in and he was able to finish it. And I sort of get both sides, but I've said it before. I think I love WoW's stance on raids. If you're going to beat it in the first 24 hours or you're going to be the world's first to beat it, you need to have a high skill gap. You need to be the most dedicated players to get to this end content. That doesn't mean you, me, and Justin can't do the raid at some point in time.
Yeah.
We will. We're not going to be in the first 24 hours, which is okay. That's 100% okay.
So I agree, but I disagree on 2 accounts. Account number 1 is that as soon as Bungie announced the release date for the raid, they also should have announced what the power level was.
Sure,
gonna be.
yeah.
Holding that information until the day before helps nobody.
Yeah.
Because if you said it at,
true.
no one was at the proper raid layer. Even Redeem
there was a
wasn't.
few.
What
Yeah,
was
there
the
was
level?
a few. 550s the low. 550s your that's kind of like your minimum.
Yeah.
But if the people that are no lifing the game, if a bunch of them aren't at 550, that's not realistic for most people. So
true.
saying that it's going to launch at 550 doesn't really hurt anybody.
It's true.
My second point about why I don't necessarily agree that this is good, although I think it's good, is that it would be okay if they had more epic content like this that was available at a less
Sure.
high skill gap.
Yeah, sure.
The problem is that you have the story, then you basically have strikes, which mean nothing, and then you have the raid, and there's not really an in between.
Sure.
And that is a huge issue because
Yep.
in WoW, it's like my best example is ESO, but in ESO, like, sure, you have your raids and shit, but you also had dungeons. And getting through dungeons weren't easy, but you could do it as long
Sure.
as you were properly leveled
Yep.
for it.
Yep.
And it felt good.
Yep.
It felt good to go through with a team of 4 people and make that work.
Yeah, I think
So more of that content needs to exist.
I agree. I think
Spread it
an
out.
easy fix to this would just have 3 raid tiers: easy, normal, and prestige.
Agree.
Just set an easy raid mode, set your light level at 500 and let whoever wants to go through it and have a chance at getting it.
Agreed.
Mechanics can all be the same, but that person, they just don't get worlds first. The people who get worlds first are the people running it on the actual thing. And the easy mode comes out a week later, right?
I agree.
It's not a hard thing to do because Bungie's already proven they can do scaling because everything's scaled now. Even since we're at 500, if you go back and do the Leviathan raid, they scale you down to 380 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like scaling exists. So scaling can't be fucking hard, Bungie. So just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's I don't know. It's fucking, I don't know about Destiny. I'm going to be playing this game for 4 years, and I still am not going to know.
You talked earlier about the scale. I think the problem with that scale and the reason why you don't know is because the things that are not great about it and the things that are really good about it make that scale just balance.
Sure,
perfectly
yeah, I
even.
think that's exactly what it is.
And you love
There's
the
enough-
things
there's
you
en-
love, but you really hate the things
There's
you hate.
enough good to just counterbalance the bad perfectly. So it's like, you know what? I
Which
just
is not
don't
a
know.
compliment.
No, it's not a
perfectly
compliment.
balanced,
But
as
here's
all
the thing.
things should be.
We were talking about this earlier too. Like, we're trying to get you to play Destiny, and I think we also have to acknowledge that we are not the best people to talk about Destiny.
Sure.
Because we're hypercritical about it, and I think the majority of people don't have the same problems that we do.
Probably
like
not.
when TJ and David jump on, they're not, and Rich, they're not talking about Destiny like this.
Rich. I played with Rich the other day, and
that
Rich
go?
is like at 509, and I asked him, he's like, "Man, you haven't got to play as that much." And he goes, "Dude, I've been playing every day." I was like, "Well, you've been dark every day, and also, why the fuck are you 509 if you've been playing every day?" He goes, "I don't know. All I've been doing is playing Gambit." Well, that's why you're fucking 509. Why have you just been playing Gambit? He's like, "Well, because I really want Malfeasance." It's like, Malfeasance isn't in the game, Rich. You cannot get that weapon yet. So all this Gambit you've been playing has been worthless. He's like, "Yeah, but I got good at Gambit." And it's like, okay, yeah, fair enough. You got good at Gambit. That's
See,
fine.
but
Too bad it
like,
doesn't
that's
matter.
a-
if you're
Yeah, too
good
bad
at
it doesn't
Gambit.
fucking matter.
That's what I would do too. Well, not necessarily like on that extent.
Well, but that's the thing. Like,
But I'm not like a big like. I'm not a min maxer. You
Sure,
know, I'm not
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
It's
grind.
not about
for
min
it.
maxing. It's just about raising your power level.
Yeah,
which,
that's literally
as
all
long
it
as
is.
you jump in with Chris,
Right.
like you're going to do shit that will raise that.
So one last thing before
Don't let
we
us
get off
scare you
this.
away. Play
yeah,
it.
just play it. Destiny's great. One last thing before we do. I'm glad it took 18 hours. That's really fucking cool. I'm
Yeah, I
not.
think
I'm
that's
not okay with people literally like Datto. Dude, I feel bad for Datto. Number one, Datto finished the raid in 24 hours and 2 minutes, so he missed out on the 24-hour emblem by 2 minutes. That really fucking
no.
sucks.
Is it-
He was third in the world. His math class was number 3 in the world to finish.
Is it okay that I actually take a little bit of joy?
It really
the first time
fucking
it matters to beat it in the day. He doesn't do it, and just
It's fucking
But that
crazy.
close.
It's fucking crazy that 12 people finished this raid in the first 24 hours. Contrast to Taken King, over, I think they said 64,000 players finished Taken King in the first 24 hours.
I don't think I've completed any of them in the first 24 hours.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
haven't
completed Vault of Glass the first weekend.
Real quick.
What was
though,
that? What was the reward tiers for it? Like, because I know you can like go to get like the what was it like the bomber jacket and stuff.
That's within the first before reset. So like 4 days for the bomber jacket, 24 hours for the emblem, and the world's first got the
They
exotic.
actually might
weapon.
have
Okay.
more information about that stuff on the weekly update.
Probably.
Okay. 'Cause I was gonna say, man, only because I couldn't remember if it was like the 24 hours was for the jacket. I was like, man, only 12
One last
people.
thing, I do want to ask both of y'all's or all four of y'all's opinion on this. I've followed the world's first thing. I was actually watching a few different streams on Friday as I was working. And I was watching Gathalion's group, the Dads of Destiny. I was watching Datto. I was watching Clan Redeemed, which is the guys who
Yeah,
won.
I saw you switching between all that.
And I was watching this unknown streamer named Ninji, who beat a part of the raid first. Before all these other teams. So he actually got to the final boss before anybody else did. So I started watching those four. And I have a small problem with Redeemed because
I'm very interested to hear this.
so I'm watching all this and everybody got through the first 3 encounters pretty, they all figured it out in a timely manner. But they got to the encounter number 4, which is called the Vault. And you basically have to open this big door. And there's a very specific way to do this, to unlock it. And everybody, man, I think a bunch of teams were on the vault for 4, 5, 6 hours. I'm not kidding. It took that long to figure out how to open the vault. And I, if I'm not mistaken, Ninja did it first. But nobody was watching him at the time because he was an unknown streamer. So nobody was really knows how they did it. And they weren't saying because, of course.
Yeah, they're trying to win.
Right, of course. But then Gathalion's group figured it out. And they just couldn't execute on it. But I was watching Redeemed, and Redeemed was like, the Redeemed guys were like, hey, Gathalion's group figured it out. Chat, go see if you can figure out how they did it. Chat would go over there, come back, and start typing in, this is how they did it. And Redeemed was able to execute better than Gathalion's group is. Is that okay? Like, that's kind of sleazy. To me, that's very sleazy. Because when I was watching Redeemed, they were nowhere close to figuring out how to figure that vault. I mean, they were out in left field so hard.
It's interesting how no one else is talking about. This is the first time I've heard about this.
I just don't understand it because they were just. I mean, their idea of how to do it was so far out in left field that they weren't even close. But as soon as what's his name, Glad was like, "Hey guys, go to what did Gathalion and them do to do it?" You could tell like people were jumping from chat to chat, and a guy came in and was like, "This is how Gathalion did it." Blah 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 blah. And Redeemed were just able to execute better than the Dads of Destiny could because they were at a higher light level. So that's super sleazy to me, man. So really, to me, Redeemed would still be in that vault if they didn't have help.
Right.
That's super sleazy to me.
I have a
super sleazy.
really implicit bias about this because I don't believe that. I really don't believe this. I don't care what anyone says and how they argue against it. I don't believe that raid launches are fair game for everybody. Raid launches basically exist so Bungie can watch their streamer community complete it. It's always been that way. No matter if it takes 5 hours to complete or 18 hours. So to me, I don't give a fuck because it's already not an even playing field.
Sure.
So what does it matter if someone cheated? It's technically cheating anyways because you're allowing your 1% to be the only people that can actually access and have success at the rate at the beginning.
Yeah, but then
so I don't fucking care that Dado didn't get it. I don't care that Redeem got it first because it's not fair to begin with.
Sure, yeah, but take that fairness out of it and just take the 1% and make it fair for that 1% in your mind, right? It's not. That's
but
kind
even
of,
if you take
it's just
it
sleazy.
But let's say it was available to 100%, right? Bungie announced 550. That's going to be the level, so everyone knows that. Hey, if we get to 540, we'll be okay.
You better be 560 if you're going to finish that raid.
Well, according to LFG,
Because fucking Riven's at 580.
But people were completing at 546.
Sure,
I mean, they were
yeah, of
leveling up
course,
as they were
of
going
course.
through the raid.
Yeah,
but starting out, if you're 545,
absolutely,
you'll
yeah.
probably be okay.
Yeah.
So we all know that we have to hit this number because just based off of what we know about raids. The reality is that if it was an even playing field, everyone would be cheating off each other.
Sure, but
Well, that's kind of how I think of it. It's like whenever it comes to who's going to finish first, it's a competition, and in a competition, like I don't know, I don't consider it cheating.
well,
necessarily.
but it very much is like maybe not.
You're
cheating,
learning
it's
from
just-
your competition.
It's sleazy. It's like when you were playing Halo 1 when there's 4 people on the screen.
And they're screen cheating.
and,
Screen
you would
looking, yeah.
screen watch. That is definitely a sleazy thing to do. Is it cheating? No, because it's part of the game thing. You're not really cheating.
I didn't lead with the most important part, though. Like, it's not that I don't like. I 100% see your logic. What you're saying makes sense, and in a world where people are nice and everything is fair, like,
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I don't take this seriously because
Sure.
I just don't think it's fair.
Sure, you're right. But the thing is like this is why the WoW community does not stream their raids. Because the Mythic Plus raid just launched for the new BFA, and I think I can't remember the clan, but they don't stream their stuff.
For the sake of comparison, like, you as a Battle of Azeroth player, right?
Okay.
Assuming that you were in a guild and you had people to raid with, and I don't know when the raid comes out. I don't even know if you know when the raid comes out. What are the chances are that when the new raid launches that you will be raid ready?
Oh, I'm not. There's no way.
But
that's the
is
thing.
it-
That's
so. But like, and also let me put that in
because it already has come out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when it came out, was it a realistic goal to be raid ready, or was it just something that like if you just have to be a no lifer to get it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just like Destiny.
Yes. 100%. If you're going for worlds first, you need to be no lifing this game.
That just it's not. So for me, it's not a level of like, yeah, obviously the people who commit more time in the game are probably going to be more ready.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just that like my problem still goes back to you not setting a realistic goal.
Sure. Of course.
Letting us know 2 weeks in advance. Well, actually, it was a week, right? It was a
Well,
week. In advance.
even then, like even if we had 2 weeks in advance to know it was 550,
time.
I wouldn't have been there. There's no way.
I don't know.
I
think
just would not have been ready.
Yeah, but if me in a perfect world where everything was great, if me, Daniel, TJ, Rich, and David were all like, we're gonna be there, you would probably be
of
there.
course.
But if we were willing to commit to that grind and no life Destiny, you would do it with us.
Sure,
The
yes.
reason why you wouldn't be there is because you wouldn't have anyone to do it with.
sure, yeah, possibly. It's just and it's
And
all
you were
about,
pretty fucking close.
No, but when the raid launched, I was only 527,
I thought you were
529.
like 535.
No, I had got a huge jump in the last 2 weeks. The last 2 resets,
interesting. Okay.
I've had a huge jump.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just and like I said, I'm not a NASCAR driver, But if I was watching a NASCAR race and I saw a dude just like bump a guy into a wall on purpose, like that's pretty sleazy and shitty. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily It's not
So-
necessarily cheating. It's just bad form.
If Bungie was more transparent what this is, like if they were like, hey, we're gonna launch the raid first to a bunch of streamers, we're gonna have them come down to the Bungie offices, and we're going to live stream an event where we
See,
celebrate the raids.
I think that's cooler.
That's awesome.
Make it like an event.
Because they're being
Yes.
honest about it. They're saying, hey, regular player, you're not going to have a chance to do this.
Yep.
But they're also giving regular players a chance. They're going to say, like, hey, Clan or Demon, all that, like, after this, we're going to launch it to the public, and we're going to have our streamer competition worlds first and our public worlds first. If you're
Sure.
competing in this competition, you
Sure.
don't qualify for the regular people
Sure.
one. So you're leveling the playing field.
Yeah.
And how much cooler would that be? Because it would literally take like 2 weeks for regular people to complete that raid.
I think I did like the Mythic for WoW launch, and it took 6 days.
Yeah.
Took 6 days for the world's first.
That would be really fucking cool.
Yeah.
If they made it a whole event and we figured out that people were like cheating and doing that, I would have a problem with that. But to me, like, this is all a facade.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's pageantry. It's theater. It's
yeah.
just a way to make Bungie look good.
Yep.
Because every time this happens, streamers make a big deal out of it. They get big views, and they just get to sit back in their office and eat fucking pretzels and watch it happen.
Yeah, pretty much. And it is. It's a circle jerk for Bungie and the streamers.
Yeah.
and
But you make it into a big deal.
which is
I'd care a lot more about cheating.
which is exactly what Forsaken is a giant circle jerk for no lifers and Bungie. That's literally what this game is.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyways,
So I did want to pose a question because we have been going on for quite some time, and we will have nothing to talk about on Tuesday. So would you guys like to move the topic to Tuesday? We're going to be reconvening. We'll talk about Spider-Man significantly on Tuesday. I know hearing Destiny talk for 3 weeks is not your favorite, Justin.
Maybe you should just play Destiny and then you could join in on the
Yeah.
fucking talk. It's free.
Yeah.
just because something's free,
I will delete my Warlock and play through with you. That's a pretty big commitment. 'cause
I
my
will
Warlock is
delete my
sec-
Titan and play through with you. Not as a Titan. Well, maybe a Titan. Sometimes punching things is fun.
You should probably have a Titan.
Here's the
Come on.
deal.
Do you really want to have 2 Warlocks or 2 Hunters? That's lame.
Yeah, it's true. Here's the deal. I've learned that Titans are idiots. and it's not
Right.
Real fast before we get
Okay,
onto
yeah,
this.
fine, go ahead.
Real fast before we get onto this. So is that okay? It'll give us a pretty meaty thing to talk about.
Sure, yeah.
We will ban Destiny talk from the Tuesday podcast.
Yes.
No
No,
Destiny. No Destiny on Tuesday. It's Spider-Man only. We'll talk
But I
about that on
haven't
Tuesday.
but I haven't played Spider-Man.
I'll delete my Spider-Man account and play through it with you.
Wait, can we play multiplayer in Spider-Man?
No.
Fuck you, Justin T. Lopez.
Also, it sounds like waiting to play Spider-Man might be smart for you because one of the Insomniac guys hinted that the Superior Spider-Man costume is coming in DLC.
Oh, well, look at there.
It is not confirmed, but he strongly hinted that will probably be a costume that we see.
Superior Spider-Man, Superior Octopus would be awesome.
Superior Octopus would be cool. Anyway,
And the special power is the arms.
that ability exists, so let's.
Oh,
you
that's
can make
badass.
it.
Okay, there you go.
Hurry up and tell us why.
Okay,
Titans are gone.
so I have learned that I don't know what type of people they are because I know TJ. I know TJ personally. I've known TJ for years. TJ is a Titan player, and TJ epitomizes Titan in game. Punch shit and don't get off your arc subclass because that's all that matters. But Titans lately, especially in Forsaken, are the dumbest players I've ever seen play Destiny in my entire fucking life. They will do the stupidest things to look cool. That's their whole goal. If I can look cool, I'm okay with dying. And it's the dumbest thing in the world because I've been playing Gambit quite a bit because it's a great fucking game mode. But when you go in solo, you're fucked. However, on multiple occasions, Titans will have 15 motes and go invade. No other class has done it. I've literally been paying attention. They have 10 to 15 motes and they will go invade and die.
You know,
Which means they lose all those motes. And it's only been Titans. No other class, I'm not kidding, guys, no other class has done that. So it leads me to believe that Titans are just dumb.
Titans are the Leroy Jenkins of Destiny.
Sure.
no.
Leroy
They're
Jenkins.
they're more like the. Not to bring it back to Spider-Man, but this was my first thought as you were talking about this. They're the Flash Thompsons of Destiny.
Who's Flash Thompson again?
He's the football player.
Oh,
the one,
right.
Like, the one that bullies
Right,
Peter
right,
Parker.
right.
They're the reckless, like, dumb jocks that do dumb things.
And it's just like in a game.
like, and you love them. You love them to death.
Do you love?
do you though?
love
Because they're
Flash?
just idiots.
Anytime,
How
TJ,
many?
anytime TJ plays Destiny with us, it is 100% more fun.
It's just because it's fucking
Than our
funny.
most
but
fun.
and I need to test it. I need to test and see. I need to play Gambit with TJ without him knowing this, and I need to see if he invades with any moats. Because and that's the thing is like if you have moats at all, you should not be invading because you are going to die.
Right.
That's the whole fucking point.
I feel like more so than any other class, like Titans attract the same people.
And that's what I mean. Like what
Daniel
type of
and I
person is that?
Are two completely different people. We are. We
Sure.
don't play alike. We don't really think about the game
but you're
similarly.
both hunters.
But
You
we're
both
both
main
hunters.
hunters.
Rich and TJ, both Titans.
Sure.
They play pretty similarly.
Sure, yeah.
They
Get
do.
it- get as
Their play
close-
styles match.
Yeah, get as close as possible. Punch something.
That's
Hey,
why-
literally, this is my thought process as a Titan. Hoppa! Did I look cool? Dead.
That's why they're.
That's literally Titans.
But that's also
Heal me, heal
yeah,
me.
heal me.
But that's also why both Rich and TJ are significantly better at competitive than they
Sure.
are at
Yeah,
PvE.
sure. Yeah.
Like TJ's pretty good at PvE. Rich, I'm sorry, you know this. You're bad at PvE. But they both excel in competitive.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It's and that's all it is. It's I just see Titans like, hey, you know, it's Gambit. Hang back. There's like crazy ass enemies happening. Titans all boom. Didn't kill anybody. Did I look cool? Dead.
Ev, you're a hunter, right? Yeah.
We need to do this. Needs to be a actual experiment.
What class
Psychological
did you play when you played last year?
Hunter
hunter. This
and
needs
Hunter.
to. This needs
I
to.
just played Hunter.
Would you
Destiny
main
1
a
as well.
hunter?
Would I?
Would you main a hunter? Like if you only could play one class.
Yeah, I mean, so far that's the literally that's the only class.
Oh,
I've
so
played.
you haven't even played a Titan or a Warlock, so you don't really know how they play. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I really want this to be an actual experiment
Yeah.
where we take people that play Destiny and we just we interview them. We see what type of person mains a Titan, what type of people main hunters, and what type of people
There-
main warlocks.
so-
Because my main's a warlock.
Do you want to hear some Destiny lore about Trey?
And I feel like that's fairly dead on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'm super logical. I can be an asshole. I'm very tactical in my thinking about fights and
I
stuff.
think
And
that,
like I'm a warlock.
I think warlock, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know characteristics of hunter that match me.
I don't know.
We should make a BuzzFeed quiz where it's like, what guardian are
but-
you?
So back in the day when Destiny launched, or when they sent out their alpha, the first character I ever
Man,
played,
I remember that. That was a great weekend.
because it was so small.
Yeah.
The first weekend I played, no, I'm sorry, the first character I played was actually a Titan. And then I played a hunter. And then when the beta came out, I played a hunter and then I played a Titan. And up until the launch of Destiny 1, I still did not know what I was going to play. And I ended up choosing a hunter. There is a close alternate universe where Trey was a
The
Titan. player.
timeline split.
Yeah.
At
Because I
that
was like, I was
moment.
undecided. And the only reason why like I never mained a Titan is because I never like deleted my character.
Sure.
There's an alternate universe where I was Rich. Because Rich started out as a hunter and then
Yeah.
main Titan.
Yeah.
I just like
we
the
have to find-
cloaks.
I think so many people play hunters, and I think I don't know how to describe. I don't know the silent, very calm, very introverted person is a hunter. Ev here, the other hunter, you're
It
quiet.
doesn't represent hunters though.
Hold on.
He's talking about how they're like more multifaceted.
That's
because so
one.
many
Yeah,
people
that's
play them.
one hunter. The other hunter, I just want to look fucking cool. Like because hunters, hands down, probably look the coolest out of all the classes.
That's kind of what I told you that earlier. Like
Yeah.
the cloaks are kind of what drove
Yeah.
me to it. But they also match.
It's just the character creation of
sure,
like, I want to
but
be a cool.
I want to
fucking
look
rogue.
super cool, but at the same time, I need to do a fuck ton of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Golden Gun Hunters, fuck ton of damage. Blade Barrage Hunters, fuck ton of damage. Even the new like Void Super, fuck ton of damage.
even
all of the hunters do a fuck ton of damage.
even Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Night Stalker. You wipe out bosses
Yep.
fast.
You
And even
can-
though I'm not the one doing all the damage,
Yeah.
I feel still like I'm
Yeah,
taking credit
you do
for
a
it.
fuck ton of damage as a hunter, and that's the way it is. It's like I think the hunters are more multifaceted than warlocks and titans. Warlocks are like me; they're super logical. They think before they act. They're not fucking punching shit for no reason. If they see a shit ton of enemies coming, they're gonna retreat, not run toward. Where titans are like, go punch the things, and hunters are like, nah, they'll get here when they do, and when they do, I'm just gonna fucking wipe them all out in one shot.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but I want to know the type of people who play these different classes.
Just make a Facebook quiz.
Maybe it's just interesting. It's super
Warlocks,
interesting.
need
your
to-
favorite color is purple.
Or black.
Well, if you guys like our analysis on Guardians, you can follow us on Twitter at Twinstick Radio or on Facebook at facebook.com/Twinstick Radio. We are all on, the show is on iTunes, Stitcher, Google. Actually, it's not on Stitcher. I always forget that. Google Play Store.
We don't
literally
like Stitcher. Stitcher sucks.
Stitcher is awful.
Yep.
And that's not a joke. I hate Stitcher.
Yep.
You can find us on any podcast app except for Spotify because they're picky, and Stitcher.
Yep.
Also,
or private ones, like there's one called Castbox now that
are we not on that?
I don't know. We
I feel like
might
it just-
be.
maybe.
Are we on Castbox?
Also, we're on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Really follow us on YouTube. Like we were talking about it earlier. It was kind of a joke. But if you want to see exciting stuff that we're doing, YouTube is the place to follow us because that's where you'll get cool looks at stuff.
Yeah.
So go to YouTube.
You get to look at stuff and see stuff.
Yep.
and-
'cause
You
they're
can
videos.
follow all of us on Twitter as well. I'm at Darth Trey. Chris is at Short Change Hero with a 3 instead of the E in Hero. Justin is at Justin T. Lopez. The show is produced by Everett. Give him a follow on Twitter at the 56th, all spelled out, no numbers. Show is edited by Connor. Give him a follow on Twitter at Connor13, one in Connor, 13 spelled out. And follow stuff he does for Downstream Studios. He's a badass. He does lots of cool things. Hire him to do something for you. I don't know. It's all audio work though, so remember that. You can't hire him to film you.
Right.
At least not yet.
Or to cook for you, because I bet he's a bad cook.
Or to drive your taxi.
Yep. He could totally make drinks though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Uh,
Hire him to be your bartender.
There you go.
Hire him to organize your art warehouse.
Is that what he does too?
Yeah, it works for Mondo.
Oh, good call. Yeah. Hire him to get you free Mondo glasses because they're cool.
I don't think he can do that.
Totally can. You heard it here first. Twin Stick Radio. Connor can get you free Mondo glasses.
Goodbye.
Oh.